Welcome to the Corporate Gossip Podcast, the business podcast for gossip lovers. You don't need to know anything about business to enjoy the Corporate Gossip Podcast, but you might learn something along the way. Today's episode, Sloppy CEOs, Giving, Getting, and Breaking the Business, our favorite executive scandals. Welcome back to the Corporate Gossip Podcast. I'm your host, CPA Scorn, Becca Platsky. I'm here with my co-host,
out of office reply guy, Robbie Slovic.
Robbie, you've been with us for a full quarter now.
Yes.
Can you believe it?
Q2? What Q was
I guess you joined us in Q1. It's now Q2, but you've been with us for 3 months.
Yes.
A full 3 months.
Full 3 months, yes. I'm off my probationary period.
That's right. And
yes.
You know what that means?
I'm rich?
It's you're actually less rich than you were.
Oh, no.
It's actually time for your annual review.
Oh, no. Already?
Yeah,
okay.
already. And here at Corporate Gossip, I like to take all of my unresolved trauma and personal insecurities and project them onto others.
That's great leadership.
Via professional feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope you're ready to cry.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. There are 3 categories. Giggling exceeds expectations.
That's great. That's good news.
Knowledge of Vanderpump deep cuts needs improvement.
Yeah, for sure.
And despite overwhelming evidence, all allegations against you here at Borough House Creative have been dropped.
Oh, this is fantastic news. Hold on, let me call my lawyer. I can get them to stop billing hours.
Congrats, Robbie. You
Thank
worked
you.
really hard. I saw you in the production room. You were coming on to
Mike. Keeping my hands to myself is what you saw.
So congrats, Robbie. Sadly, on that last part, the same cannot be said for the people we're going to talk about in today's episode. We got a couple of horny business boys on our hands.
Let's talk about them.
And if you looked at these guys' LinkedIn pages, it would say that they were CEO of the Awooga factory.
Oh, boy.
In today's episode, rather than one company, we're just going to kind of cover one topic, CEO cheating scandals. And these are stories that wouldn't necessarily fill an entire episode, but are just too fun and juicy to not talk about. And frankly, we deserve a treat. We all do. You too, listeners.
Yeah.
We can't just keep talking about how bad everything is all the time.
We all deserve a trip to a Coldplay concert.
Right.
And get on the little kiss cam together.
And interestingly, when we have done episodes like this in the past, like we did The Ghost of Strikes Must Pass, which was all about labor organizing and dramatic strikes in history. And that has tend to do pretty good. So I'm actually curious, listeners, if you like this format, let us know in the comments. I have carefully curated 3 sex scandals for us to talk about today because I think all 3 of them tell us something different. And in each one, we're going to have some discussion questions at the end for me and for you and for the listeners to weigh in on the comments. So are you ready for the first one?
I'm ready.
Okay, the first one is Corporate Gossip number 1. Giving me an extra key. That each story is going to have a song to go with it, and I mean we have to start with Shaggy.
Shaggy, it wasn't me. Yeah, this is a classic in this space.
Okay, this story you might have heard it before. It has been highly requested. Nestle is the Swiss company. It's 150 years old. If you've eaten Kit Kat, Aero bars, Haagen-Dazs, Crunch bars, Nesquik, Nestea, any fancy water, you go to an Italian restaurant and you get that aqua panna, San Pellegrino. If your babies eat Gerber or your dogs eat Purina, that's all Nestle. And we could honestly do an entire episode on Nestle scandals. There's a literal entire Wikipedia page specifically dedicated to the scandals of Nestle.
I believe that.
But more recently, the CEO of Nestle, and I looked this pronunciation up and I watched a YouTube video, so here we go, Laurent Fraiche.
Laurent Fraiche.
That's great. Did you just know that right off the dome?
No, I don't even know if I'm right.
Globalized? What do you call it?
I was just trying to dress up what you did,
Oh, gotcha.
but I don't know if it's right or wrong.
Robbie's more worldly.
More fresh.
That's the word I was looking for. Than I. Made headlines last year when he was ousted from the top job after having an affair with a coworker. And the details of the story are fucking crazy. Here's Laurent. You can get an idea of who he is. I mean,
he's a nice looking, normal looking dude for his age. Looks,
nice and normal.
Nice, normal looking dude. And also, I will say this: if we're going to share this specific picture, very tasteful watch choice, right? CEOs might go with an ostentatious like gold band or whatever. That looks to be a nice leather band, tasteful choice.
So it's a good point to bring up, and I think a very good observation, because he notably runs this company in France.
Yeah.
It's a Swiss company, but it's a French-Swiss company, and he is a French CEO. In France, and specifically, ostentatious CEO behavior is very much looked down upon.
Right.
And notably, probably stemming from the French Revolution, the wage gap in terms of CEO to employee is a lot smaller than it is here. So he's not being paid the way CEOs are being paid, and that will come up specifically in the story. So last summer, Nestle's HR department gets a tip through the employee hotline. This is, one of those hotlines where you can snitch on your coworkers. A senior marketing executive alleged that Laurent was hooking up with another executive in a hotel in Zurich.
Okay.
On
That's
a business
just straight
trip.
up. That's gossip. That's what a fun phone line to be manning, to just get these fun little hints, these tips.
If I ever get another corporate job, please let it be manning one of those lines.
Totally.
Because I would work from home. Obviously, I'd be on my bed, on my belly with my feet kicking up.
And would you be like, do you have anything to report? Or would you be like, what's the juicy goss?
Yeah. I'd be like, spill, diva. So there's an investigation that took place internally, and it was largely kept under wraps. But it later came out that the woman who called the tip line was actually Laurent's, quote, main mistress.
Okay. Very French, by the way, to have like an acceptable, this is my primary mistress.
Right.
Yeah.
Who walked in on him hooking up with the other mistress, also another executive. They were all executives.
Yes.
At the hotel room in Zurich. Hence,
I
Shaggy
understand.
wasn't me. Now you get it.
Sounds like Laurent was getting a little too fresh, if you will.
Luckily, both of these women end up leaving the company, obviously both with a hefty severance package. Now, we should note that the CEO, Laurent, was not fired because he cheated or hooked up with a coworker. He was fired because he lied about cheating. And also because if you look at Nestle's stock price over the years, this is Nestle compared to Unilever, and Danone, which is Danone, is much worse than the rest of them. So they're kind of like looking for an excuse to sack this guy, right? So the Nestle chairman, after Laurent had over and over, I'm obviously saying Laurent because I can't say fresh or whatever. He had over and over denied. Eventually they get access to his phone after the chairman, he's waiting in his office one day and Laurent walks in and the chairman goes, "Give me your phone, liar," or however you would say that in French. Here's maybe what it sounded like.
Donne-moi ton téléphone, menteur.
Donne-moi ton téléphone, monsieur.
So sexy. What a sexy language.
Yeah. And he was like, wait, you trying to fuck too? When Laurent got his phone back, the first thing he did was post on the LinkedIn of the new CEO, spelling his name wrong right off the bat. And he kept his LinkedIn title, Laurent did, of CEO of Nestle for 6 months after he was fired. Now, Laurent, who is 63, worked at Nestle for decades, like I think since 1984. So what's that, 40 years? He knew the rules. In fact, he met his second wife there and started hooking up. Well, obviously, he was still married to his first wife.
Got it, yeah.
So how does this news play in Switzerland and France, where this guy is from? Arthur Chevalier from Le Point magazine denounced what he called a, quote, medieval mindset and a return of Puritanism. He declared that firms that had rules requiring employees to declare office romances were displaying, quote, petty-mindedness, rage, and jealousy.
Hell yeah, France.
So this is notable, right? Because for somebody to be fired for this type of behavior in France is unusual.
Yeah.
In France, there's obviously famously strong worker protections. We talked about the fact that exorbitantly high CEO salaries are taboo. And if you hook up with your coworker, no one's going to stop you.
Right.
Like, these are the rules that we have agreed to.
Even if it is
upon.
like a subordinate, relationship or whatever.
Right. And there's a famous 2019 case called the Xavier X Tribunal about an employee who was working for a railroad company. And while he was traveling for work, he had a heart attack while having sex with a, quote, perfect stranger. And the company was legally required to pay the family compensation as if he died on the work trip.
He died on the job.
Right. As if he died on the job. And everyone was like, well, that doesn't really make any sense. He's obviously not like partaking in like business activities. It's not like he died
traveling for work.
He was traveling for work.
I'm on his side. If he's traveling for work, would he have met that perfect stranger had he not been traveling for work?
Well, that was the argument that they made in the French courts, was if he died taking a shower or if he died eating a ham sandwich, you would have compensated him. So this is no different than eating and sleeping.
You die on a work trip, you should be compensated.
So all that to say, like, the Coldplay concert that you mentioned earlier wouldn't have been a thing in France.
Right.
America is specifically very touchy. And I'll say America. I'm sure there are other countries.
CEO and CMO were specifically touchy, if you know what I'm saying.
About extramarital affairs. There is an incredible creator on TikTok and Instagram called Tell the Bees. His name is Josh Laura. He does these great stories. He really dives in specifically on American cheating culture. And there's a Substack where I'll link. And this is what he quotes. America's roots in Protestantism. Yeah, but I think there's more T's in that. And the cultural dominance of the WASP conflict-averse communication style mean that the status quo must be maintained at all times. Feathers must never be ruffled, and no one should ever be upset. It's like with Nestle, we'll let you destroy our community's drinking water. You can, for sure, if you're Boeing, have 2 or 3 planes go down, but you better not even think about a consensual motorboating with the CMO.
Yeah, we are. And just in general, we are, like, at our core, still a pretty puritanical society in a lot of ways.
And, like, obviously that plays into our culture. Kyle can call Amanda a dumb bitch on Summer House, and all is forgiven when a semi-cheating scandal emerges between Amanda and West. Cheating is a worse offense in America than like what seems like borderline verbal abuse, according to the internet. And I want to start this episode here because I think it's easy for us to sit here and be like, boo, you cheated on your wife, CEO, like, go pound sand. And I understand, like, in real life, personal relationships are nuanced and complicated. Like, I love memoirs and TV shows that cover messy relationships. I've been close to people who cheated, and like, I can say, I get why you did that. I'm not trying to downplay cheating, which can fully wreck families and like generations of families. But I'm just saying, when it comes to this podcast topic, I can recognize that, like, as Americans, we tend to have a black and white thinking when it comes to monogamy. However, what is also true is that cheating tends to be a pretty time-consuming activity.
Sure.
It's very distracting, especially if you're cheating on somebody at work and also covering it up.
Also cheating on somebody at work with somebody else at work. Yeah.
It's something that might take a lot of your brain power, and it might, say, distract you from creating shareholder value, for example.
I think one of the great things about social media, Twitter and stuff like that, is that it's shown us just how much free time these CEOs have. They've, like, for years, they've kind of propagated the myth that, like, we are always busy,
right,
always working, 24/7, grind. It's like, it seems like you can do 140 posts a day. Like, I don't know anyone who has the time to spend online the way you guys seem to have to spend online.
It's true. And then once the scandal does get out, how many hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, is your company spending on PR, legal?
Right.
If there's a severance payment to the affair partner, maybe you got to spin up a search committee for a new CEO if you do choose to get rid of them. And all the projects that were in the hopper now get put on pause. The financial implications to a company of a CEO's cheating scandal are not nothing. Like, if I were the SEC, I would make that a reporting requirement.
Sure.
Like I do think it has a financial implication.
And I also think that like with some of these bigger companies and these types of CEOs, they are prepared for that. They have a cost of doing business of like, we have a slush fund for, NDA settlements, affairs, these investigations. Like, I think they plan for this type of shitty behavior.
They do. And most of it does get covered up. But in the event that it doesn't, it's because these CEOs, I mean, I think to that end, are taught that they can just act with impunity.
Yeah.
Like, of course you're going to cheat. I mean, if I don't cheat, then like, why do we have these lawyers? Yeah. Why do we have these PR people? When you have CEOs that believe that they can behave in the case of Laurent, Fraiche, both professionally and personally with impunity, like that is very costly. And that is where I want to start, because like that is the problem that I have with executive cheating scandals. Like if you want to cheat on your partner, if you are an independent contractor who wants to cheat on your partner, I'm not going to be here to judge you.
Yeah, that's true.
But don't make me the shareholder pay for it. Notably, Laurent did not get a severance package, but like who knows over the years how much time he was spending, hooking up with and covering up affairs and not spending on Nestle business dealing.
Right. Which is, and food by like, I think it's like so much of it is based in Europe and they have some like stricter regulations or whatever. But overall, like food is kind of a pretty dirty business as well, as far as like the like additives they add and like the addictive qualities and getting stuff just right to like make people need to come back more often than they should.
And Nestle in particular has a lot of issues even beyond just hurting the consumer. Pollution, human rights abuses, slave labor, child labor.
Because
fecal matter in the San Pellegrino.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there was a huge issue. I think it was San Pellegrino. There was a big scandal in France where fecal bacteria was found in the Perrier.
My LaCroix's okay, right?
I think so. That's our first cheating scandal. Okay, a little amuse-bouche, if I could use a French term. Are you ready for the next scandal?
Yes.
The next piece of corporate gossip is... waking up in Vegas. We're back in America. And let me tell you, outside of France, if you're going to have an extramarital affair and not get fucking negged for it, Paramount is your next best option. This company is a piggy bank for cheating losers. Former 96-year-old chairman Sumner Redstone.
I love Sumner.
You love him? Oh my God, that was one of my favorite episodes. He had not one, but two girlfriends who took turns changing his bedpans while they dialed in for him into shareholder meetings to create the appearance of life.
Yeah.
It was a real Weekend at Bernie's situation over there.
He made Hugh Hefner look like spry, He
really did. And he was a huge philanderer.
Yes.
Sumner Redstone is no longer with us, but his ghost remains, and it seems to be possessing the penises of the company's remaining executives. That's not a boner, Your Honor. It's the ghost of Sumner Redstone. One of those executives is a man named Jeff Shell. He was ousted from the top job of not one, but two companies. First, NBC Universal, and then Paramount, within 2.5 years.
Oh, that's amazing.
So let's start with Jeff's time as CEO of NBC Universal. He is fired in 2023 after being accused of sexual harassment by CNBC anchor Hadley Gamble. Now, reporting...
Great name, by the way.
I know, great name.
Yeah.
Especially for his life in particular. So now reporting from Variety says that they were actually in a relationship from all the way back in 2012. Shell's married, by the way.
Okay.
But he allegedly is in a decades-long on-again, off-again relationship with the CNBC reporter. She then says that it wasn't a relationship, but instead a decades-long campaign of sexual harassment, and that he used his position of power to pressure her for sex. Shell's camp alleges that she only lodged her complaint after her contract was not renewed. And some say this all might be Vladimir Putin's fault.
Wait, what?
The story is fucking crazy. Back in 2016, Jeff Shell is detained in Russia.
Okay.
Okay. has something to do with his role as member of the Broadcasting Board of Governors who oversees Radio Free America, which obviously the Kremlin feels is anti-Russian propaganda. He's pretty shaken up by it. And it's reported at the time as almost just like a footnote. Mm-hmm. Like it's like, hey, this guy was detained, but it was all figured out. Yeah. He says it was actually a huge deal. And he was only released when his sister, which is crazy, who was Dana Shell Smith, who was then U.S. ambassador to Qatar for the Obama administration, called to intervene and get him released.
Okay, so now, like, who is this family? Like,
I know.
When you have a high-level CEO and someone in a ambassadorship to, like, a particularly corrupt, like, nation as far as, like, funneling money to the U.S., you know, it's the Qataris who just gifted Trump a $400 million airplane that he just somehow accepted, which is insane. Yeah. But, like, so this... there's something up with this family right off the gate.
Not just a high-level CEO, but a high-level CEO of one of the major 3 broadcasters in America.
Media, right.
Okay, so his sister gets him released from Russian detainment. That's got to be scary. I mean, I listened to Chelsea's episode on the Britney, who's that? Britney Griner. And that sounded fucking harrowing. Like, yeah. That's a nightmare.
Well,
so
it also sounds like this guy was detained like specifically for the purpose of intimidation.
Totally.
So, yeah.
Suffice it to say, Jeff Shell does not like Vladimir Putin. Okay. 5 years later, his girlfriend, Hadley Gamble, sits down with Vladimir Putin for a televised interview that made headlines because it got weirdly sexual.
Okay.
Okay. Here are some stills from Hadley's interview with Vladimir Putin. Okay.
Okay.
Do you want to describe what you're seeing here?
I'm seeing like a bit of a, you know, it's just a screenshot. What do I know? I'm seeing a bit of a flirty smile though, for sure. She seems a little smitten.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. A little body language there. The foot is poking pretty, you know, they're pretty far apart. This is probably like not long after COVID time, so they're good, like 6 feet apart. But
a leg is poking out in his direction. She's definitely pointing that
leg in his direction, and he's leaning in.
And the news at the moment, this is even Russian news, narrowed in on this and said that she was using her physical appearance,
feminine wiles,
as a way to, what did she say? As a way to
lure him and make him comfortable. Make him, yeah.
Here's a description. Hadley squeezed into a tight black dress, fluffed up her flowing hair, put on a pair of nude leg-lengthening Louboutin high heel pumps. Quote, her legs were covered in shimmering body oil as though it wasn't a work assignment. So she effectively dressed up for a Bravo reunion to interview the war criminal president of Russia.
Yeah. Okay. Leg-lengthening Louboutins. Leg-lengthening Louboutins. That's fun.
Sources say that Jeff and Hadley's relationship ended right around the time of that interview.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. And
that guy, he put me in prison. How,
right.
You're flirting with him?
Right. Yeah. I mean, seriously.
You wore your leg-lengthening Louboutins?
He was pissed. He was pissed. I think it'd be also funny if these events happened in reverse order. Like first she started flirting with him, and then he was. There was a lot of pushback against Hadley, not only for this interview, which I think probably looked bad on NBC or CNBC, but also for her on-set behavior. Quote, people don't like working with her. She's the person the camera crews don't like to work with, and that's a telltale sign. I don't know if you...
I will say this. I've spent a lot of time working in television at various levels, and at the Jon Stewart show that I worked on Apple TV, there were a lot of people from network news who came along to the project, and I learned from that experience that, like, I don't think there is a segment of show business more toxic than newsrooms.
Really?
Yes. It's like whatever you think is happening in, like, you know, sitcom writers' rooms and late night variety writers' rooms, like, it's nothing compared to what's going on in newsroom.
Do you want to give an example?
Nope.
Okay. How about thematically?
It's just, you know, I think you would be like, oh, the silly clowns who are like writing comedies and stuff are probably like line crossers, but like regarding like, I don't know, like toxic office behavior, some like sexual harassment type stuff, it it's coming from the news people.
That's really interesting. I wonder why that is. I wonder what the root of that is. Do you think because they feel like they're incredibly important and they're doing like, you know,
they definitely
critical work?
Yeah, I think there's some of the like high stress element of it.
I think there's also a boys club element of it. I mean, like certainly you see this in journalism where it's like very much a boys club and a feeling of when you're in the know, it gives you this sense of power.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so she's got this reputation, and it's not until a few years later when her contract comes up that she files the complaint. Now, this is kind of, this is messy, right? Because like on the one hand, she's alleging sexual harassment from this guy. On the other hand, there's a lot of evidence that like maybe that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
So it's complicated. I don't know. I mean, you can kind of like come to your own conclusion, listeners, on what you feel is the truth. Either way, she leaves CNBC. He obviously leaves NBCU. There are also allegations that people came out against him because during the Me Too movement, despite his own reputation as being a, quote, well-known dog, he took the opportunity as president of NBCU to fire many men.
Okay.
Perhaps that he...
To insulate himself.
Or like to feel like, hey, I never really liked you. There is an allegation against you. You're gone. You're gone. You're gone. You're gone. And even though like he was the president and he was kind of the worst of them all, there was a lot of people that alleged that this was a way for people to take revenge on him. A former Fox colleague that used to work with him, Jeff Shell, when he worked at Fox, was unsurprised by the Gamble news and said that Jeff Shell was always aggressively flirty with women. Quote, everyone knew about his reputation. The board wanted to get rid of him last summer, and then this fell into their lap. Right. So it's possible that they would have, if he had been doing a good job at NBC, they probably would have swept this under the rug and paid off Hadley. But since they wanted to get rid of them, they just did.
And this is also the thing about why you can't, like, if you enter a romantic relationship with someone, even with the best of intentions, but like ultimately their contract renewal falls to you, there's no way to get out of that cleanly. You just cannot do it.
Totally. Which is just so funny. I mean, I think that kind of goes to the acting with impunity. Like I can have an illicit affair with a coworker and I can treat them like shit.
Right.
Okay, so now Jeff Shell is out of a job around 2023. And you think the Larry David Ellison family gives a shit that you got mogged by Vladimir Putin? I don't think so. Get on in here, brother.
Come on, buddy.
David Ellison made...
You like fucking your employees? We like fucking our employees.
Seriously, Larry Ellison of all people is like...
I see you.
I see you, brother.
I am you. Come on my sailboat.
So David Ellison makes Jeff Shell his right-hand man, right? And this is, you'll remember, David Ellison of Skydance is taking over Paramount. He is way out over his skis. He really has no idea what he's doing. And Jeff Shell is, you know, despite his personal issues, a very well-regarded television executive who knows a lot about media.
He knows the business, despite being a dog by all accounts.
They make Jeff Shell president of Paramount Global in 2024, and less than 2 years later, a high-stakes professional gambler named RJ Cipriani accuses him of spilling non-public insider information about the deals that Paramount is making that leads to his ouster. Now, Robbie, I want to show you a picture of RJ Cipriani.
I do want to see what RJ Cipriani looks like. But also, why? Like, who is RJ Cipriani to whistleblow on this guy? Oh, whoa, yeah, big.
Do you want to describe him?
I mean, big kind of like private investigator vibes. It looks like a velour blue baseball cap with some type of earpiece in, but he is black head to toe. Like he looks like a fixer.
Total fixer, yes. White hair. He's got big aviator sunglasses. And every picture he's in, he's got sunglasses on. So if you were to Google him, you would never truly see his face.
You would never know what he looks like. Yeah.
You wouldn't know what he looks like. So RJ Cipriani, he's described as a high-stakes professional gambler, a federal informant, and a self-styled vigilante. I think vigilante is like the real word here. He's like kind of like a freelance fixer / I don't know, rabble rouser. Like he just really likes to get in the gossip. And it's not clear why or how Jeff Shell got involved with him.
Right.
But over the years, he became close with this RJ Cipriani guy. Cipriani refers to himself as a, quote, kamikaze, a lone wolf, a wild card, and a fucking cowboy.
Hell yeah, Cipriani.
I think he's just one of these guys who kind of like hangs out at Chateau Marmont and like, just gets involved in poker games with these guys, ingratiates himself with the like high-powered media crew who like also style themselves as like casino guys.
He sounds like a raconteur. If you describe yourself as a lone wolf and a cowboy, like you can probably tell some fun stories.
He is constantly calling reporters to give tips. He says stuff like, I'm a soldier of God, and that Bradley Cooper wants to play him in a movie. He said that his wife has had offers by all these famous people, including Leonardo DiCaprio, to sleep with her, and she won't. And Shell, for his part, says that RJ Cipriani is just trying to extort him because Cipriani had asked him to make a TV show called Star Serenade, which would have been like an unscripted singing show that would honor Cipriani's late mother.
This is what the people want, okay? So I work in entertainment. People are constantly asking for singing shows that would honor RJ Cipriani's mother.
Right. And Jeff Shell said, yeah, man, totally. I'll do it. Sounds like a great idea. My people talk to your people type of thing. And then ultimately left him on red. Yeah. And that's when Cipriani said, well, fuck you. I'm going to whistleblow and tell Paramount that Jeff Shell told me information about a partnership that Paramount was going to have with UFC.
Okay.
It was non-public information that he was then able to trade on.
That to me, like that's, I guess that does like, it is insider trading, but it's also like, there is very intentional stuff. And then there's just like, I don't know, a CEO just being like a loose-lipped guy with his like, we're actually going to acquire UFC. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you're not supposed to do it. But it also seems like it's not the biggest deal,
It is.
Yeah.
It definitely is trading, like legally is like definitely a big deal, especially like if you're entrusted with so much. I get what you mean, but like, yeah, you could absolutely go to jail for that. Yeah. Like it's just so maybe in the 80s, that was like very common, and probably like in RJ Cipriani's heyday. Yeah. That was much more common. And I'm certain that it happens all the time. Yeah. But if it's confirmed that you've done that, you can at a minimum be fired,
which seems a little crazy in a like that's good, makes sense in a world with calcium highly market. Yeah,
it's fucked up.
Insider trading is like one of the core ways to make money now.
Totally, I agree with you. When reporters ask RJ Cipriani, is that extortion what you did? Basically saying that you're going to release this secret about Shell if he doesn't make your show that you want. He said, if that's extortion, I guess I'm an extortionist. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I'm going to try to get people who fucking act badly to act correctly. Don't hate that.
I'm kind of like an RJ Cipriani right now.
Either way, okay, it's very strange that Shell is so close with this guy, RJ Cipriani, given the fact that it was Cipriani himself who tipped off the media that Hadley Gamble had filed that original sexual harassment suit against Shell when he was at NBC.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that crazy?
But did he get that information he got it from Jeff Shell then?
I'm not sure where he got the information from. Probably like other media contacts. I mean, clearly this guy's good at getting information out about people. Yeah. Now, Paramount said that Cipriani's claims that he was given insider information were baseless, but that also, quote, consistent with Mr. Shell's commitment to prioritizing Paramount Skydance's success, he has elected to transition from his position as president and member of board of directors to focus on the lawsuit. So he didn't give insider non-public information, but also he's stepping down.
But he's stepping down to, just a great crop of movie names in this scandal, by the way. RJ Cipriani, Hadley Gamble, Jeff Shell. It all sounds like
Vladimir Putin.
Vladimir Putin, of course. I love when he shows up. I know,
this is a great story. So here's my question to you, Robbie. Assuming that the affair between Jeff Shell and Hadley was consensual, does an affair in and of itself indicate bad judgment? Because clearly that's what Jeff Shell had. He has bad judgment with Hadley. He had bad judgment with RJ Cipriani. But I guess my question is, like, should I, as a shareholder, be concerned if a company that I'm invested in picks up a CEO who's been ousted from another company for having an inappropriate affair, even if they pick him up for like a discount because he's like a damaged asset, should I be concerned about that? Do you think that
yeah,
and I guess this is a question also for the listeners. Like, what do you guys think?
I think it depends on how you view money, in that like you are going in knowing that like what happened with Hadley Gamble, like there are going to be contract renewals and this guy is going to be in a bad position on them. And like, are you okay with a slush fund for this guy's fuckery, knowing that like some lawsuits are going to come up, but like if you think that's the cost of doing business for this guy, it doesn't sound like Jeff Shell is some like mega star CEO who's turning huge profits everywhere, really. So like if you feel if we're taking morality completely out of it, you feel like this person's value add will more than cover the cost of their fuckery, we'll call it, then I guess sure, but it's not the call I would make.
Yeah. I think it should be taken into consideration. And I think the frustrating part probably for a lot of our listeners is if you are applying for a job, your background is fucking combed through with a fine tooth comb. And like you have to explain every single thing you've done before. If you're a mom, you have to explain any lapse or a dad, any lapse in work history, then that could be used against you. But it's so strange that because there's a very insular and small group of CEOs to choose from, their backgrounds and their past indiscretions seem to not matter.
Right. Well, yes, I agree with that. But we're also like living in a world where like Spencer Pratt just came second in the, LA mayoral primary. Yeah. And it's like with like whatever, 150,000 votes to the first person getting 170,000. So it's like we're just kind of like okay with villainy if someone is telling us what we want to hear, I guess, or a large percentage of the country is.
Yeah, it's a great point. I mean, I think not to mention the Trump of it all shouldn't be, I mean, talk about the biggest philanderer of them all.
Right.
I think I want to show you a picture of Jeff Shell.
Okay,
this is the man. This is the man.
Oh no. Oh, what are his lips? Is that a real pic? Like what are his lips?
Well, he's pouting.
Do you have a picture of him with regular human lips?
Okay. He looks exactly like Chris Parnell. Here he is with Chris Pratt and Anna Faris at the, looks like Jurassic Park premiere.
Yeah, he's got.
Here he is walking around
that's so funny
Allen
how quickly
Media
that
conference.
Because he's got the gray there. Because up top he's like, man, that Just for Men is doing a lot. There's a specific type of like Just for Men jet black hair that does not exist in nature.
Here he is with The Rock.
Laughing it up with The Rock.
Yeah, absolutely yucking it up. And here he is.
Steven
oh God,
Spielberg.
This one's hanging on his fucking office. Here he is with Steven Spielberg holding a Tyrannosaurus Rex mouth. But doesn't he look like Chris Parnell?
I would say that's unkind to Chris Parnell. Chris Parnell looks better than this guy.
I noted that Paramount has a long history of being a piggy bank for losers. In the last 4 months that Shell was at Paramount, the only one who out-earned him was David Ellison himself, who made $63 million to his $61 million.
$61 million. Dude,
for 4 months.
These numbers make me fucking crazy. Like, having gone through the writer's strike and watching these guys, like the Netflix guys getting 50 and 51 million respectively, whatever Bloomberg is getting, David Zaslav's insane pay package, and then like as they plead poverty, as far as like we can't afford to pay union wages, we can't afford to pay Teamsters, we can't afford to pay SAG, we just can't do it. We'll take our productions overseas, we'll use AI, whatever. It's like the math isn't mathing if you guys are taking home $50 million in a year. Yeah.
For what? And they're not. That's the other thing is it's like if you're going to say that this guy is a complete superstar CEO who has brought more shareholder value than has ever been seen before, he's a fucking genius with media. Like I said, if you want to consensually motorboat your CMO, I could understand why you would make that decision.
Yeah.
But he's bad at his job.
Yeah.
Then what is the point? As a shareholder, explain to me this.
Right.
Other than this is a slush fund for losers.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have this question, right? Does bad behavior beget bad behavior? Should we consider a CEO's past when it comes to his future? I have another story that I think might illuminate, and this is going to be our last story of the episode. All right, you ready for a final story?
Yep.
Corporate gossip number 3 is
Go on, take the money and run. Go on, take the money and run.
I love
Is that the Marshall
song.
Tucker Band? Who is that?
No, it's Steve Miller Band.
Steve Miller Band.
Okay, Robbie, you know that feeling when you get a huge ice cream cone? Like, what are your favorite flavors? What are your favorite flavors of ice cream?
This is, you know what? I'm really glad you brought this aside up. My favorite flavor of ice cream, it doesn't exist everywhere, but where I grew up, mostly in Tampa, Florida, it does. It's one big Florida distributor mostly handles it. It's Smurf ice cream. It's a blue ice cream with white marshmallows in it. I cannot tell you what the flavor of the blue is. I can just say it's blue. I can't tell you what the flavor is.
Is it supposed to be a Smurf? Like, is it supposed to be like the body of Christ, the body of Smurf?
It is, yes. It's trans. What's that word for? But yes, it is like the body of Smurf. I'm eating the body of Papa Smurf. Transubstantiation. Yes.
Okay. You know when you get that huge ice cream cone, it's a waffle cone, 3 scoops of Smurf.
Oh my God. Yeah. Now we're talking my language.
And you're just about to go in for that first lick. And then it drops on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
And then you step on a rake.
Oh, no.
It smacks you in the face.
This is a bad few minutes for me.
That's basically what happened to Alex Molinaroli, who is the former CEO of Johnson Controls, except the ice cream cone is his marriage and the rake is a massive Ponzi scheme.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Super clear. Easy to understand analogy. I understand. I'm glad that I pulled in a 2-minute aside on a bizarre ice cream flavor that only exists in the Southeast. Perfect podcasting all around.
This is my podcast, and you know what? I don't get a performance review, unfortunately. This is a dictatorship. Johnson Controls is the biggest public company in Wisconsin, so you probably haven't heard of it unless you're really into like HVAC or
That's
live
exactly why I've heard of it. I'm a big HVAC head.
The CEO, Melinda, I'm going to just call him Alex. Sorry.
Call him Alex. But I see where this is going. He didn't control his Johnson. Yes.
Robbie.
Yes.
Holy shit. The CEO, Alex, starts hooking up with a management consultant. So this is back in 2014. He starts hooking up with her, and the guilt is just eating him alive because he is married at the time to his wife, Patsy Molinari. His wife, Patsy. She finds out about the affair and she emails this consultant. I couldn't find her name. I actually found a couple different names, but I didn't want to get it wrong. So we're just going to call her the consultant. Patsy emails her the following: I will destroy you, your family, and your business just as you have done to me. And after she sends that email, she fires a .38 caliber pistol at least 4 times in the couple's Wisconsin home.
Okay. I love Patsy. Patsy fucking rules. First of all, Patsy is such a passive name. It's a Patsy, person who takes the fall. Not this Patsy, though. This Patsy can take some action. I will fucking destroy you. And then Yosemite Sam's boom, 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 boom in the house. Come on. I love her.
I mean, we definitely don't want to minimize domestic violence, but for the story, it is pretty crazy.
Did anyone get hurt? Was anyone even home? We don't know if anyone was home.
Nobody got hurt.
She hit an email. She hit send. In fact, every time, this might be the thing that I bring. Every time I finally hit send on an email I've been waiting to write, I'm going to shoot off 4 bullets in the house.
Here's what she did destroy: window panes, a Pac-Man game, and a china cabinet. That's not. Those Renewal by Anderson ain't cheap. At this point, the affair is now public, obviously, because she shot out the window.
Yeah.
And he's the CEO of the biggest public company in Wisconsin. Yeah. This is like fucking front page news. And his wife, it's the talk of the town in Milwaukee. And the worst part is he's docked $1 million in pay as punishment.
Okay.
Which is like, I think he's making at that point $15 million.
It's not that big deal.
This was crazy. Okay, he went on CNBC. I couldn't find, the interview isn't hosted there anymore, unfortunately, but I did find the transcript. And
was he talking to Hedley Gamble?
That would be crazy. No, I don't know who he's talking to, but He's talking about the aftermath of the affair, and he says, quote, "When something like that happens, the biggest impact to me is with our employees and my family. You don't want to go through something like that. But quite frankly, the thing that happened is that the employees have really rallied around me." The community has rallied around me to get us through this situation and allow us to just continue to focus on the things that are important.
I love that statement. It's so perfect in that, like, there's no accountability taken anywhere. It's nothing to do with his actions or decisions. A thing happened
to me.
And thankfully, all the employees loved that I was having an affair with a business consultant. They're like really rallied around me. And the thing about employees always love business consultants because what they do is they come in from the outside and soak up money that could go to the employees for doing this job. Mm-hmm. But amazing. So this thing happened to me. It's very unfortunate. Thank God for my community and employees who love that I have.
They set up a GoFundMe. So that $1 million that was docked has been returned to me.
We can get new China now.
That year, despite cutting his pay, the company increased spending on Alex's personal security up to $151,000 from $15,000, way more than anyone else in his peer group.
But that's all because of his wife.
I know. But still, $150,000 on annual security seems pretty high. Don't feel too bad for him. In the following year, he got a raise, $20 million in 2015, and he would need that money because that year, he was the victim of a $50 million Ponzi schemer.
Oh, that's fun.
Who he also, after he found out he was a Ponzi schemer, let him live in one of his investment properties for free.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Every one of these stories, you go, what?
What? Yeah.
So this Ponzi schemer, actually, first, let me just show you a picture of Alex Molinari.
So he got scammed by this guy?
Alex Molinari got scammed by this Ponzi schemer named Joseph Zada. Let me show you a picture of Alex. Now, he is what I like to call, unfortunately, a corporate cutie.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. This is the guy who was having an affair?
Mm-hmm.
I get why the community and people rallied around him. You really want to root for this guy.
You really do. He's really sweet. He seems like he would be the man who owned the ice cream shop where you got your Smurf ice cream. And he has one of those little hats.
I would be scared to be the Ponzi scheme guy. Like, I bet Patsy sent him a pretty fucking intense email when she found out they lost some money.
He's scary. You want to see a Ponzi scheme guy?
Yeah, I want to see the Ponzi scheme guy. Like, don't invest with that guy. That's a Ponzi scheme guy.
Describe him.
He is... I mean, he blends into the environment. He's dressed like an undertaker, and then he's got like these sunglasses that are like, they're kind of like Matrix-y themed, but like this is not a trustworthy man from that picture at all.
His name is Joseph Zada. He defrauded not only that CEO, Alex, but also a 6-time Olympian and Russian hockey star. And he was sentenced to 15 years in prison. He only served 6 because of COVID. And both Alex and his stepson invested about $2.5 million with Joseph Zada.
Okay. Was it 6-time Olympian? Is that Sergei Fedorov? Or?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Uh-huh.
Do you know him?
That's a big time hockey star.
Sergei Fedorov?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a big guy. He's a big
guy. Yeah.
He swindled him out of $43 million.
$43 million?
Yeah. So he ran a $50 million Ponzi scheme, and he...
It was all from Sergei Fedorov.
It seems like he just stole 43 from him, and then the rest from
the Johnson Controls guy,
from the dressage Olympian and the Johnson Controls guy. So Alex was asked, what was he doing with the money? Okay, what was he doing with the money? Quote: "He was investing it." He said, "In what?" Quote: "All I knew is it had something to do with oil, but that's all I knew." This is a guy who runs a company with 130,000 employees. Mm-hmm. Multinational conglomerate.
Who just gave $2.5 million to...
a guy who said he had something to do with oil. But he did get returns early on, and quote, "I guess that's the way a Ponzi scheme starts."
But then he let the guy live.
Okay. So here's more. So when Zada's scheme collapsed and the lawsuits and criminal charges were filed against him, Alex continued to provide Joseph Zada with money and housing, even though Alex contends he did not know him well. Federal prosecutors said that Alex had paid Zada's legal fees, bought a Michigan mansion for him to live in, and even offered to pay up to $20 million in restitution for him.
$20 million?
Yes.
So this guy's blackmailing him. I mean, he's got something on him. There's no logical reason.
That might be why other people allege that Alex Molinari might have been involved in it.
Involved in the... I don't know. Maybe it's like, if you're a CEO making $20 million a year, scamming Sergei Fedorov out of his life savings doesn't seem like...
I don't know. CEOs scam people all the time.
That's true.
They don't need money. It's more about control. It's more about, I don't know.
Yeah.
Alex Molinari told another executive to invest with Zada. That executive transferred $150,000 to him, and he was told he would see a 50% return in a matter of weeks.
I mean, why are these people all so dumb?
I know.
These things, that doesn't exist. It doesn't exist anywhere. No one can offer you those terms. If they do, they're lying. Why? How do you become like a successful executive without spotting something so obvious?
I mean, we just talked about this with the Madoff episode, right? Like, I think it's almost like you think that because I'm a successful executive, I must be smarter than everybody else.
Yeah.
And I actually have a feeling that this one isn't the scheme.
Yeah.
As smart as you think you are, I don't care if you're a fucking Nobel laureate. I don't care if you're an astronaut. You could fall for a Ponzi scheme. You could. Anybody could. Like, I think it's one of those things where it's like, I learned from a cult member once who told me that if you believe that you would be susceptible to joining a cult, that is like the best protection against accidentally joining a cult.
Uh-huh.
And I think the same thing is true with fraud. If you believe that you would be susceptible to falling for a fraud, it's the best protection against it. And the minute you think you're too smart for it, that's when you become vulnerable.
I think I could fall for a fraud, but I don't think I could fall for one as obvious as 50% returns. But you know what? Any listeners out there, try to defraud me. Try to defraud me, see if you're successful. Make a Finsta, offer me something out of this world, see if I bite.
So obviously this executive who fell for it never received a return, but Alex Molinari sent him 3 unsolicited checks for $50,000 each over 3 years that he assumed was paying back for his
Oh, he just did it without
investment.
saying this is the reason. He just said, here's a $50,000 check.
3 times.
3
so
times.
he gave him his money back without him asking.
Yeah.
So obviously he knew it was a scam, right? Like if he thought that why would he give him $150,000? Hey, Robbie, invest in this guy.
Yeah.
You did. And then I pay you back for your investment.
That's super weird. I don't know. Like all of that's just bizarre.
That, along with him paying for this guy's expenses, made some people think Alex Molinari was in on it. Plus, after Zada was convicted, the U.S. attorney says Alex offered to provide $10 million to repay the victims of the Ponzi scheme.
I don't know if he was in. Look, typically with any like CEO, I'd be like, they were in on it. They're scumbags. But I just saw this picture of our man.
I know.
He seems so nice. Maybe he was swindled. And then he's like,
he felt so bad.
I felt so bad that I steered other people into this thing. I'm going to pay them back. And Patsy's like, don't you dare give our fucking money away.
Well, which will come back in a second. It is crazy how our bias towards like Mr. Rogers coded men is so strong. I actually recently saw a article that said that Bill Gates, after this whole Epstein thing came out, his PR people tried to give him like a full makeover, and Mr. Rogers was their like Pinterest board because, and it's like, it's not just the clothes. You have to have a certain energy about you, and Google Alex Molinari because he has that energy.
He has that energy.
I don't know how to describe it. It's not something that you can create. It's something that you just have innately.
Right. But I mean, it is like good on like smart play by Bill Gates's people, because everything Zuckerberg has done like post glow up just does look worse, because it's suddenly like you understand the intentionality behind it, whereas when before he just looked like a weird freak. You're like, oh, he's just doing weird freak stuff, and now he like looks like he's in a boy band, and you're like, fuck this guy. Yeah,
the minute you see Mark Zuckerberg with a button down and then like a zip up sweater, you want to fucking run far away because you know he's done some terrible shit. After all of this came out, after Joseph Zada is convicted, okay, after the cheating scandal, all of that, Johnson Controls still let Alex Molinari stay at the company.
Mm-hmm.
The board hired outside counsel to examine the unusual relationship with the con artist and found that the, quote, association was personal in nature, did not involve misuse of corporate assets, or was a violation of company policies, and did not appear to involve a violation of the law. Quote, Alex Molinari said he was confident that his job at Johnson Controls was secure. Quote, I think that we all make mistakes in our life, and I assume that that's allowed.
I mean, I don't know where the line is here, but like to do an investigation and be like, no, he's actually just super good friends with the con man who stole $50 million is like
from one of our executives.
That's not an acceptable place to land. Like he didn't do anything illegal. It's like if everyone knows this guy's a con man and this guy's his friend, like putting him up and stuff, then maybe they're no longer trustworthy.
Not only did he get to keep a job, he got a raise.
Yeah.
$47 million in 2016. That's double his previous salary. $78.3 million in 2017. And that year, he only worked 8 months.
What did he do the other 4 months?
He was fired after that.
Oh.
The wife is so funny. Here's Patsy again with a fucking diva moment. Quote, I don't want to see him lose his job because that affects me. The divorce settlement that they had called for her to receive half of his gross pay, which was about $53,000 a month. Mm-hmm. Okay. So here's my kind of takeaway and final question here, which is this comes from a professor with Northwestern University's Kellogg School of Management, Nicholas Pierce, said, quote, nobody's perfect, nobody's flawless, but with executives, especially chief executives, the lines are very, very blurry between personal and professional conduct.
I'm not totally sure what they're saying. Like what the lines are blurry between professional and
personal conduct.
Like what you do in your not work life versus what you do at your work life.
Your behavior outside of work doesn't necessarily have any bearing on what happens inside the walls of.
Then I would make the exact opposite argument, which is like at the kind of line level employee, like that's probably true. Like what you do out of work versus what you do in work isn't. You can have a whole other different life outside of work because your ability to, for your morality to impact the overall movement of the company is nothing.
Right.
You know, like maybe you'd make some shitty deals. You lie to some clients, whatever. You lie on a performance review or whatever. It's like that small time impact. But if you are the CEO and can steer an entire company and have 130,000 people who ultimately bubble up to you in an org chart, like then I'm pretty concerned with your out of work ethics.
Seriously.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree with you. And I think it's that's what I was saying. Like if I were in charge of the SEC, I would have a CEO background check and like objective data-driven analysis of his personal life or her personal life outside of work as a fucking line item in the annual report. Like, I want to know. And like, that's the purpose of this podcast is like, these things matter because I think the conclusion from this episode is like either one of two things that need to happen. Either we need to hold CEOs to an incredibly high moral, ethical, behavioral standard, or we need to pay them less.
Yeah.
One of those two things need to happen because we can't be paying them $78 million and also letting them cheat on employees, sleep with consultants, get involved with our people like RJ Cipriani and Joseph Zada. Like, one or the other.
Right.
That's why I think kind of going back to the Nestle of it all and the France of it all, it's like, let's pay them a reasonable salary. And if you want to hook up with
want to have an affair, don't lie about it to the board.
Right.
And please, wear a tasteful watch. Yeah. I think there's like a separate, like, and a bigger conversation to be had about just like, you know, there is a type of no one like accidents their way into becoming the president. No one really accidents their way into becoming a CEO. Right. And so there is just a bigger conversation about what that type of drive and ambition means for the type of person you are and why there's so many like, you know, sex scandals and like along with that, like financial appetite and need for more power, more money, higher status, like that feeling seems to be in every part of their life.
Yeah.
So that's like whatever that is, but that's more sex. It's taking the thing in front of you. That Larry Ellison is a great like example of this. And it's like there's just something, I don't want to say broken. It's just like it's a different wiring that leads to.
You're absolutely right. But the fucked up thing is, I worked in organizational psychology. I took graduate level courses in organizational psychology, and they don't talk about this at all.
Yeah.
Even though this is like, I think a huge, I think it's kind of, and maybe it's just the kind of American puritanical culture where we just kind of sweep things under the rug. But like the fact that this is causing I mean, it wasn't difficult for me to find these examples of CEOs getting fired for cheating scandals just in the past like 5 years. So like, how much shareholder value is destroyed because of this, and we don't talk about it.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, other than just pay them less and bring them back down to reality where they feel like if I lose this job, fuck, I'm going to have to pay $1,000 a month for health insurance, and that actually is going to be meaningful to me, because once you make it so that money doesn't matter, like they really don't care.
Yeah.
And they know that if I get fired, I'm getting a golden parachute.
And also these are like all these examples, which are like recent and easy to find, are like, you know, kind of middle-aged dudes having a very traditional, like, oh, there's a younger woman and she's around, I'm going to have sex. We're not even getting into like the weird, like Peter Thiel, like my like blood boys fell off a balcony. Like, I don't know what happened, but they're dead. I used to hook up with them and now they're dead type of a thing. You know, like this is like the Leave It to Beaver of affair.
Yeah. It's so standard. And that's where I'm saying, like, these guys aren't any different from any other 40, 50, 60-year-old man.
Yeah.
They're just not.
Right.
Like, all right. Well, let us know what you guys thought of that episode. I know that was a little bit different than our standard, but I had a lot of fun doing it. I had a ton of fun doing research. And like I said, we deserved a little break. Speaking of break, over the next couple of weeks, you are going to be getting our favorite episodes from the Patreon, from beyond the paywall. There's a couple of really good ones that are coming your way, including our deep dive into the longevity influencers and our episode on private equity's influence in youth sports, which was a highly requested topic.
Yeah.
Both very funny, both some of my favorite Patreons that we have done. And the reason we are doing that is because, well, I mean, I'm going on vacation. I'm going to Paris.
Yeah. I think you
I'm going to go meet up with Fresh.
Yeah, with
Laurent Fresh.
Yeah.
And we're going to go climb the Eiffel Tower together. I'm taking a little bit of a break, and we will be back in July probably with new episodes. Robbie, what do you got planned? What's your June look like?
I've got, I'm going to be taping a comedy special at the end of September, so I'm going to be on the road a lot. I've got a lot of shows. I will start to be plugging dates at the end of here, probably in a way that you guys might find annoying. But if you live in a city, I'd love for you to come to a show.
What kind of cities? Do you know what?
I'll be a lot in. I'll kind of be a lot in New England. I'll be in Chicago. I'll be in. I'll tell you. I can tell you.
Tell us.
I'll tell you the cities. July 10th and 11th, I will be in Long Island at the Brokerage of McGuire's. I'll be at Side Splitters in Tampa, August 15th. I will be in Manchester, New Hampshire, August 21st. I'll be in Vermont, August 22nd. I'll be at Stamford, Connecticut, August 26th. I'll be in Atlantic City, August 27th. I will be at the Punchline in Philadelphia on September 3rd. And I'll be at Soul Joel's in Potsdam, PA on September 9th. And I'll be taping a special here in New York City, September 26th.
Wow. Like I said, Robbie exceeds expectations when it comes to giggling. And that has a Corporate Gossip stamp of approval. Then check those out, and we'll put, what do you have, a website?
I do have a website. We'll put all that stuff.
Hell yeah. All right. So if you are not subscribed to us on Patreon, you're going to be getting those episodes in your feed in the next couple of weeks. However, for those on our Patreon, you're not even going to notice a difference. We're still going to be in your feed every other week because something like that. Because
pay money and we respect that.
We respect that. And so you're still going to get your every other week episode. And so if you can't afford to miss any single moment, if you're like, oh my God, my June really just took a turn for the worse because I'm not getting any new Robbie and Becca, don't worry. For the low price of $5 a month, you get 2 extra bonus episodes every month from us. For $10 a month, you can join the Corporate Gossip Book Club, where every quarter we discuss a new and exciting book that we all choose together. So if you want to join at the $25 level, you get all of those perks as we listed, and you also get a shout out on every main feed episode, which I'm about to do right now in a random order. Anastasia B., Sarah Burtis, Nora, Michael Anderson, Kelly Jade, Sarah Armstrong. Did I say Sarah Gilbert?
You did not.
Sarah Gilbert. Thank you all for supporting the Corporate Gossip Podcast. If you're a new listener, we just appreciate you for spending another hour with us. And we will see you next week or in 2 weeks. Bye.
Bye.
This week's good news comes from Los Angeles, where small businesses have joined forces to create the coalition Save Northeast Los Angeles Shops. The coalition was started after the owner of Real Books, Jeremy and Debbie Kaplan, were sent a 30-day notice that their monthly rent would be increasing from $1,200 to $2,800 a month. The Kaplans had 11 days to decide whether to accept the more than 133% price hike or leave. For the Kaplans, accepting the new lease wasn't even an option, and they would have to figure out how to move more than 20,000 used books out of their storefront. With the help of California's Senate Bill 1103, they were able to extend their 30-day notice to 90 days, which granted them more time to search for a new place. In their search, the Kaplans quickly noticed that small businesses across LA were being priced out in similar ways. Several storefronts lay vacant and were unaffordable for people like the Kaplans. There are several reasons as to why a landlord might choose to leave a commercial property vacant. Los Angeles Council member Isabel Jurado suspects that the vacancies allow the landlord to mark the property as a loss and reduce their total income generated. Others suspect that the motive is to scrap the building and build apartments in its place. But there are ways to tackle greedy landlords. In San Francisco, Aaron Peskin, formerly a member of San Francisco's Board of Supervisors, authored and passed a commercial vacancy tax ordinance that applied to street-facing ground floor properties that sit vacant for more than 182 days a year. Peskin said that the proposition helped massively in maintaining neighborhood commercial corridors and in post-pandemic recovery. Back in LA, Jeremy Kaplan decided to take his struggles online, where he was quickly met with overwhelming support from his community who were interested in fighting back. They decided to form the coalition Save Northeast Los Angeles Shops, and although the coalition is relatively new, they have organized protests across the area fighting against landlords. On Read Book's last day, the store was packed with protesters out front and a steady stream of patrons throughout the store. In front of the crowd, Jeremy Kaplan said, "3 months ago, when this all began, my initial action was to fight back, because fighting is my default setting. But I also felt fear of insignificance of disappearing, as if everything we built in the last 19 years, often working 7 days a week, might soon be dismantled and forgotten. The support you've gifted us with these last few months has been a constant reminder that we're all in this together." Read Books is still searching for its new storefront, but in the meantime, if you're looking for ways to support the store or coalition, you can follow them on Instagram at SNELAS for all. They currently have a petition that you can sign to help the store fight back against the current owner of the building, and as of recording, they're at 2,282 signatures and only 918 signatures away from their goal. And they also have a newsletter you can subscribe to and keep up to date on their initiatives. And from a policy standpoint, the current mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, said that she is uninterested in creating additional taxes and is instead focused on, quote, cutting red tape, expanding support for local businesses, and advancing solutions that address the broader affordability crisis. And if you live in LA and plan to vote in the upcoming mayoral election, which I suggest everyone does, it may be important to consider how candidates plan to actually deliver on their promises of affordability. For the Corporate Gossip Podcast, this has been Elizabeth Liu.
Hey, welcome to a special post-podcast interview, a little special treat. Our good news correspondent who you know and love, Elizabeth Liu, is in the studio today. She's in New York City from the Ohio State University, where she just finished her junior year. And Elizabeth and I, today's the first day that we met. I'm so happy to have you. I'm so happy we got to go get coffee today in Bryant Park. And I'm so happy you're down to not only record today's Good News segment in studio, but also just do a little interview with me today, too. Wait, we can't hear you.
Hi.
It's really a lot. I literally, right before this podcast, I said, do you want to sit down and do a podcast with me right now? And this is so unnormal. And this is not normally how we do things, but I just could not waste the opportunity. So, Elizabeth, I just wanted to, you've been working with us for about 2 seasons now. And just so you guys know, the way this all got started is you emailed me, I think, or DM'd me.
Yeah, I emailed you like off Instagram or something, and then I was like, hey, I know this is a long shot, but I want a job if you're hiring.
Yeah. And I just happened to need, I think we had been doing like Good News episodes, and then there wasn't enough to do full episodes anymore, but I was like, I just can't leave people in a dark place at the end of every episode. So we need some light at the end of the tunnel. And you have provided that with good news stories that you've either submitted for me to read, or more recently, because I think there's a podcast studio at Ohio State, you said, that you've been using to record yourself. So I'm curious, because we actually haven't talked about this before. Like, every week, Elizabeth gives me like a rundown of some good news stories, which is just a delight for me to read. How do you find them, and what are you looking for when you look for a good news story to put on the podcast?
Yeah, I mostly go through like the big newspapers, like LA Times, New York Times, Boston Globe, San Francisco Chronicle, I think, and like Seattle Times. And I'll go through their business sections and their local sections and try to look for anything that's like remotely positive. And so then I'll read through those. And then a lot of the times, a lot of it is very negative. So I'll, if I can't find anything there, I kind of just like look around and I'm like, union wins. I'll just Google that.
Right.
Or I'll Google like something I'm interested in. Like I wanted to do an episode on healthcare. So I'll like look up like what's going on in the healthcare sector. And it's kind of just like a lot of bopping around until I find things. But I will say recently it's gotten kind of hard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I feel like when Trump was inaugurated, I think there was a lot more to choose from. But then like as time has gone on, I feel like every week, there's like less and less.
That's actually really good data. You're probably one of the only people out there who's searching for this stuff and can notice it.
Yeah.
It's tough, right? Because I think a lot of these good news stories, I mean, one of the reasons I want to put them on the podcast is because they don't get much play. It's unless you're like, look at this monkey who's friends with a koala. Like, that's good news that people love. But, a lot of these stories, editors and journalists, just they don't have time to cover them.
Yeah. And I do think that like there is so much community organizing going on in a lot of major cities and smaller cities, and I feel like there's not that many people who are covering it or paying attention to it, maybe because their actions aren't directly felt or not immediately like noticeable. But I do think it's important to highlight the work that everyone does in their communities.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have a favorite story that you've done for us? I think about that one you did about the ice cream shop in Columbus. That was one of my favorites.
Oh, the graders. Yeah. I think my favorite was probably like right after the ice raids, doing the story about the Columbus like small businesses coalition that created a mutual aid group, because like that was something that I had seen on Instagram, like my mutuals posting about, and so it was really cool to be able to like talk about that on the broader scale. And then like also highlight a lot of small businesses that like I go to on the regular.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to like see the impact in my community and be able to share that.
That's awesome. Before I'm going to ask one final question to you, Elizabeth, but I just want to let you know this will be the last you'll be hearing from her, at least until the fall semester, because you got a lot going on this summer, right? You're busy.
Yeah, so I'm interning at CBS News, and I'm going to be a media research intern. So I'll be learning about media.
Sure.
I'll be learning about media and also working under Paramount, which will be very interesting.
Totally. So we'll hear more from Elizabeth at the end of her internship in the fall, and you will hear from her again. In the meantime, if people want to fill your backlog with good news stories. They either, can be in the news, they can be in outlets that she had mentioned or anywhere else, or they can just be good news that you've heard about on Instagram, on TikTok, as long as it's like verified and you're sure it's not like AI. This guy walked on water. Then send it to her. Where can they find you?
You can email me at elizabethlou526@gmail.com.
Okay, great. Well, hey, Elizabeth, I'm so happy I got to meet you in person. It's been so great working with you over the past couple of years, and I'm excited to keep going and, you continue to be the light that we need. Yay. We got so many comments of people being like, I really need Elizabeth today. I was struggling at the end. So I'm so happy you're here and excited to keep the journey going. Bye, guys.